First class honors, BSc Civil Engineering from the Great University of Ife, Masters from the Great Oxford University, man who has straddled all financial institutions that you know around the world, and who has distinguished himself. Ladies and gentlemen, you already know who I'm talking about. Please, a big round of applause for Mr. Ike Chioke to set the tone for the night. Please, a big round of applause. Big round of applause as he steps forward this evening to set the tone for what is going to be a great event. And I will still be on standby here serving you. Thank you very much. Can we once more, please, a round of applause? Looking up as I welcome. This mic is all yours. If you still want mine, you're free to have it.
Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to my special guest, especially Mrs. Udona Wojika, our keynote speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the boards of Afrinvest and our stakeholders, especially our clients that are here, I welcome you all. This evening is a special one for us. We are celebrating quite a few milestones. As you all know, you might have seen the invitation card. Today marks the 27th anniversary of our firm. The firm was actually founded in 1995 by no other than Godwin Obaseki, who's presently the governor of Edo State. The company that is Afrinvest West Africa today was established as Securities, Transactions and Trust Company Limited in 1995. And it was not until 2002 that I had the privilege of switching from working at Citigroup in London to joining Afrinvest in London. Now, there was another company called Afrinvest set up by Mr. Philip Ihanacho. Interestingly, Afrinvest London was also set up in 1995, and both Afrinvest and Sectrust had a unique and symbiotic relationship whereby Sectrust did a lot of research about the Nigerian markets, economy, the investment opportunities, and would then send the same research material to Afrinvest in London, which would repackage it and circulate it to his own clients as Afrinvest Research. When I left Citigroup, I was then the head of investment banking covering emerging markets. But if you remember around that time, 2002, many international banks had some issues, and Citigroup was actually reorganizing its investment banking business. And I decided that I wanted to be more focused working on African companies. Joined Philip in London in 2002, moved to Nigeria in 2003, began to establish the investment banking franchise, and then recognized that Nigeria needed its own company. We couldn't use a London business card to prospect clients, so I set up Afrinvest Nigeria. And at that time, Sectrust was a shareholder, and Philip and I were shareholders, and that's how the three of us became sort of bound to the hip. And as this was 2004, the ink had not quite dried on the certificate of incorporation for Afrinvest Nigeria when Professor Chukwuma Soludo became the CBN governor. And you recall, in the middle of June of 2004, he announced the banking sector consolidation. So here we are, brand new investment banking franchise being set up, and there was suddenly a whole slew of transactions to do, capital raising, mergers and acquisitions. And so Afrinvest Nigeria became the face of the transaction for Sectrust in Nigeria. And we did quite a number of deals. Some you know, like the merger of Standard Trust Bank with UBA. We organized that transaction. It was the very first deal. Alhaji Mohammed Hayatuddin is here. We are privileged to have advised on the merger of FSB International and Fidelity Bank, and so many other transactions. But when we were done with the banking consolidation, Godwin and I agreed that it made sense to fuse Afrinvest Nigeria with Sectrust. And that's what happened. Sectrust then acquired the remainder of the shares in Afrinvest Nigeria, and then changed its name to Afrinvest West Africa. So that company, that went from a single sector to two companies because Afrinvest then Nigeria became what is now our broker-dealer, Afrinvest Securities Limited. And we have now grown in leaps and bounds. Today, I'm delighted to say that we have 7 operating companies. There's Afrinvest West Africa at the top, and there's securities, asset management, trustees, capital, our issuing house, Andromeda, our fintech business, consulting, our research has morphed into a consultancy, and more to come. So that shows some progress. So today we are not only just celebrating our 27th anniversary, we are also acknowledging all these events that happened to us, given how challenging the Nigerian environment is. To have survived these many years is a show of some resilience. And so I want to welcome you all again. We called today Sparkle because we started a project called Project Sparkle early in the year. And that's a very interesting project. I will reserve the opportunity for one of my colleagues to explain to you the meaning behind Sparkle later on during this program. But when we're thinking of a name for this event, given that we are celebrating our 27th anniversary, we are launching our 2022 Banking Sector Report. Today's report will be the 17th report we've written on the Nigerian banking sector. And just a bit of background, that report always captures the picture of what is going on in the Nigerian economy and paints a sort of gives a direction of what we could see in the next 1 year. And then last but not the least, we are unveiling our new digital platform, which is designed to springboard Afrinvest into becoming perhaps Nigeria's first digital investment bank. And that is why we're all here. And so we decided that the name Sparkle would be an appropriate way to show you how Afrinvest is sparkling. So once again, I want to welcome you all, and I sit down, relax, and enjoy. Thank you.
Sit down, relax, and enjoy, he said.